Automatic lighting system activated.
What ugly mugs.
Speak for yourself.
Did I just imagine it, or did that head say something?
Nothing at all.
Very good. For a moment, I thought I'd gone mad. I have the vague impression that someone here lost their inspiration. I didn't know how to name him. Am I right?
You didn't know how to name what?
You. It's your name.
No, I have no name.
Maybe it's precisely because your parents didn't know how to name you.
Perhaps.
So I'm right. That's your name.
I already told you it's not my name.
You should get yourself in shape again.
Why do you say that?
Maybe because you can't even get out of your burial plot?
I just put myself on a diet. I haven't touched a pizza in weeks.
Only because he devoured the errand boy too, last time.
I'm assuming you're a cannibal, then.
I make no distinction when there's food involved.
You don't mean to try to eat me too, right?
If they were all like you, I'd have starved to death by now.
Actually, you're right. What happened to your arm?
I was too hungry, and I bit it.
It must have really hurt.
But it was good.
I'm going out for a walk. Maybe you can join me later, okay? (1861). Pretty self-explanatory, I'd say. Black magic for daily consumption. There must be a reason it's been here for so many years without anyone picking it. Chapter 1. Witchcraft. How to curse your mother-in-law and live happily. Capture a wild animal to associate with the victim. 80% of readers pick a toad or a snake. Wait for midnight and the moonlight to baptize the animal with her name. Free your the animal, in open country. Your beloved acquired mummy will thus lose the power of speech. Remove the earplugs and enjoy the new silence. Octung. Unfortunately, the above-mentioned witchcraft is not effective on wives and husbands. Chapter 2. Seances. How to satisfy your edible complex even if your mother left you. Sit around a table with other people who want to communicate with your dead mother. Therefore, avoid inviting your wife. Light up a wax candle in the center of the table. Create a circle, holding hands or touching with the pinkies. At this point, close your eyes and evoke the dead towards you. Some dead people don't like to talk, so prepare an alternative medium like a pen or a typewriter. Octung. Always remember to avoid antagonizing the dead if you want to communicate with her once again, but mostly avoid antagonizing your wife. Chapter 3. Voodoo practices. How to get revenge on the school bullies while keeping your distance. Recover some hair or nail samples from the concerned bully and attach it to a doll. Then place a voodoo doll in the center of a pentacle. Close your eyes and channel your hate on the bully. Imagining him with his head in the toilet increases the chance of success. If the ritual is successful, the doll will assume the features of the designated victim. Grab a needle or some pins to stick into the voodoo doll. Enjoy your revenge. Octung. Don't damage the doll by removing its limbs or head. Keep out of reach of children. Chapter 4. Love potions. How to get out of the friend zone and overcome restraining orders. Acquire a photo of your future love. You shouldn't have problems after so many years of stalking. Dip some rose petals and cloves in a water and red wine solution. Bring the mixture to a boil. After cooling, drink the love potion you just completed. Wait comfortably at home for his or her arrival. Octung. Always remember to take proper precautions. It certainly cannot be said that they lived quiet times in the deep ocean. I can suggest a good beautician, if I may. So elegant.
Oh God, what's that terrible smell? You must absolutely take a bath. Grab this.
The bottle's not the most masculine, but I have to admit, it actually smells great.
Pretty Bones, listen. Can we talk when you stop smelling like that?
Okay, negative thoughts. Nothing easier, all because of how easily I can project my complete hate of other people. It's basically an action figure with a blonde tuft. Let's just hope this is the right time.
What do you want?
The bedroom on the upper floor is empty now, as promised.
Really? I'm calling my gang now. Be still her. Take the guys and go to the dump. Don't waste my time. I don't care what you do now. It's all fixed. Go now. Hanky Panky room is ready.
Wow, they couldn't control themselves any longer.
"28 days, 6 hours, 42 minutes, 12 seconds.
It's the most sought-after room of the party, that's for sure.
Be quiet.
Do you need
or
some
my
more bubble
husband
bath
will
by any
hear us.
chance? I have a bottle of it here with me.
Okay, you can go in. You can lay it down on the bubble bath shelf.
And here I thought you were the only one with such a low IQ. I don't want to risk cracking my phalanges. I am pleased to note that you're intent on proving your superior stupidity. As a child, you had fun doing robotic voices, too. Admit it. The best way to attract likes on social networks. Maybe you're used to this, but certain self-gratifying practices are not my thing. Let's just say my soul is not the only thing Death took from me. Her arguments are certainly more convincing than mine. Take a picture of a selfie. That would be deliciously meta. First rule for good personal hygiene, never neglect your own personal hygiene. Oh no, I've seen what happens in jail. It wouldn't be a bad idea, but first I have more urgent things to think about. You're not responsible for all the senseless actions you make me do. You're not the protagonist of this adventure game, nor do you manage the contents of my inventory. No, stop. Come to think of it, you're exactly all those things together. The revenge of millions of goldfish ruthlessly flushed down the toilet. I don't feel right putting it back in a glass bowl. Why don't you sit on it? You're having a lot of fun in there, right, little one? How to lose your beauty in 30 seconds. If I still had the skin. Someone should really tell him not to use all those bath salts. I don't think it's a good idea. Does it seem like the right moment to you? Well, it's water resistant for sure. Stop for a second. Can you be more specific? I'm running out of ideas. What are you doing locked in here?
I'm enjoying some well-earned rest. I work as a security guard at the city museum, so situations like this don't come around that often. Luckily, Ralph, my cousin, hates Halloween and offered to cover for me.
A security guard for the museum is really necessary on Halloween night?
That's what I told the union. But do you think they listened? Anyway, take this. To repay the favor of the bubble bath. It's a bit wet.
I don't even want to know where you kept it.
The museum is closed to the public, but you can enter with this pass if you find yourself in that area. If you go, let me know if that midget has everything under control.
If it's any consolation, I had the misfortune of seeing such intimacies too. A pass to access the city museum. Too lazy to wrap a noose around your neck? That bridge is too far from home? The suicide booth is your solution. Select the type of death among the available options. Slow and agonizing, fast and painless, clumsy. I don't think there's anything clumsier than choking unexpectedly because of an allergy to plums. It's half buried. I can't do it with my bare hands, that's for sure. I think I'll suggest installing one of these near your house. You never know when the urge to end it all might hit you. It seems they also have a customer care line. The telephone number is 0001-7170. Now don't say I never do anything for you. There must be a serious lack of good players in this city. It's all ready. We can get started.
Where do you want us to take it?
Friday Avenue, number 13.
Do you have any idea how far that is from here? We're heading to the party. The best we can do is take it over there.
I'll settle for that.
Do you hear that? Let's move.
Moving this is proving to be much more difficult than I thought. You're really Not until I find a way to get it to Ronald's new home. I think I'll seriously start to ignore you. Not a bad neck warmer at all. Expect something like this inside my next gift bag. Why would I need a face hugger when I've already got you perpetually breathing down my neck? I doubt you'd be able to cling to a big head like mine. Only thing missing was the poser dinosaurs. Accept defeat, Rex. You can never compete in a race with the velociraptors. Winter is coming. Isn't it a bit dishonorable for a knight to keep a shawl on its shoulders?
Do you have any idea how cold it is in this tin box? I am almost 1,000 years old now. I must think about how to protect my bones too.
Isn't it time that you retire after all these years?
I'd like that. Believe me, I'd like that very much. But unfortunately, the Duke has never paid for my honored services.
I never knew David Bowie recruited knights.
I'm not talking about the thin white Duke, but about the black Duke.
Ah, I see. It's a trap! Sorry guys, but I can't fill my sweater with thorns. Monkeys are always so adorably irreverent. Don't even think about starting some strange snowball battle, I warn you. Smooched by hundreds of ugly spinsters because of a ridiculous fairy tale. Man, I don't envy that guy at all. Hello, my baby, hello, my honey, hello, my ragtime gal. No, right?
Though the plant kingdom can seem harmless, there's an incredible variety of ways it could lead to your demise. In the Renaissance era, belladonna was used by ladies as eye drops to give a certain shine to their eyes. But its berries are potentially lethal. The oleander, one of the most common flowering plant species in the Mediterranean area, is poisonous enough to be avoided instinctively by the whole plant kingdom. Beware the classic health axiom of an apple a day. The seeds, if ingested in large quantities, can actually cause death. In short, if you're vegetarian or vegan, your days are numbered. Eat meat. Though, come to think of it, meat causes cancer. You all die. The reasons leading to the outbreak of the Second World War are various and complex. The conflict lasted for 6 years, from 1939 to 1945. The parties involved and battlegrounds fought were numerous too. After all, they called it a world war for a good reason. Therefore, what we propose today is a brief, intense, and pragmatic summary of the entire conflict.
Funny.
I got a D in history in junior high, so go easy on me.
When I was young, I always dreamed of having one of these all of my own. And I still dream it now that there's one in front of me. I'm afraid it's just a showpiece. They'll have only left the external bodywork and very little else on the inside. I'm not 3 anymore. Surely the rodeo act that's both most amazing and inappropriate of all time. If I were you, I wouldn't make fun of that missile. That big Nazi of a doctor is still giving thanks. One of the first ticking bomb models. I suppose the percentage of severed limbs caused by the early explosion of hand grenades has drastically declined since their invention.
Don't you dare touch anything!
You just have to read the hotspot name. It's diffused. If only you could suggest which wire has to be cut. A lot of trouble could be avoided, you know?
In contrast to popular belief, the Vikings weren't just a wild and savage people. Besides being great explorers and naval engineers, Vikings were gifted in jewelry and in the art of commerce. Furthermore, the women were more liberated and independent compared to their European counterparts. Vikings really cared about their personal care. They had a sauna once a week. They removed unwanted hair and used iron sticks to clean their ears. There were no ranks or grades. The commander was the captain of the ship. Warriors could either be common citizens or professionals. Among these combatants were the berserkers, warriors sworn to the supreme god of war, Odin. Legend told that they were invulnerable, It is believed they consumed a specific drug made by alcohol, jalapeno, and the green secretion of the evil egg, one of the most lethal mushrooms in the wild. Different from other populations, the Egyptians were perhaps the best known among historic civilizations. To avoid being redundant, we'll examine some of their false myths to offer some clarity. Tutankhamun, one of the most famous Egyptian pharaohs, actually reigned only 10 years and died at the age of 18. What made him famous is the myth of the curse linked to desecrating his grave. Lord Carnarvon, financier of his expedition, died 1 year before the discovery of King Tut's grave, while actually the average lifespan of Carter and all the other archaeologists was around 70 years. Also fake is the myth about the construction of pyramids. They were not built by slaves, but by paid workers. Since there was no currency, workers were paid with barter, especially bread and beer. Fantastic people, aren't they?
I'm afraid the chili pepper isn't spicy enough. Using everything with everything won't work. I'm running out of ideas. The hammer of Thor, the god of thunder and lightning, as well as the public face of a hair product line. Maybe I might have the courage, but I for sure don't have the pure soul needed to lift it. Does it look like I wear a Stars and Stripes costume? You can rest easy, Mjolnir. No imitation will ever be a match for you. So much for Stark and Company. Druidic potions, basically the equivalent of modern homeopathy. It's a real shame this is just a reproduction. It would be better to collect your thoughts before acting once in a while. I'm running out of topics. Wrong turn. I'm running out of ideas. I don't want to be a know-it-all, but I remember these were used by the Native Americans, not by Egyptians. Perhaps it's the very last thing I need. Unfortunately, since I'm dead, I've completely lost the ability to dream during sleep. Clean slate. I prefer to have a moment of silence, in memory of your brain. It certainly cannot be said she doesn't know how to sit on that throne. You look like you're waiting for someone.
I'm waiting for one of my countless suitors to get the nerve to come forward.
What would keep them from doing it?
Exactly what I've been asking myself. I'm afraid everybody is too scared of my beauty.
The burden of being so beautiful, yes. What should this mythical Prince Charming be like?
For centuries now, I've been waiting. We queens too have certain needs to satisfy. I just want to find a good mummy to spend the rest of infinity with.
That shouldn't be so difficult after all.
Don't rub it in.
What happened to the pharaoh?
The servants found him dead, poisoned by the bite of a snake. I remember I was so angry with him. Not that the two things were connected, obviously.
Of course, of course. I have a dilemma.
Don't you think you're too young?
What?
You can't be more than 15. Well, it's true that my beauty transcends age after all.
Actually, I didn't want to hit on you.
Do you think I'm not attractive enough?
No, absolutely, you are. I didn't mean to.
You better.
I'll leave you to your undertakings, my queen. I don't want to give her more reason to show off her vanity. That lipstick kiss should let you know it's from a woman, so I don't really think she'd be interested. It's never a good idea to antagonize a queen. I don't think I'll make...
What do you want?
Do you like being a night watchman?
I'm filling in for my cousin, just for tonight.
Yes, he told me.
So you probably know I accepted because I hate Halloween. It gets on my nerves.
What kind of childhood trauma did you suffer to have such an aversion?
Once a guy slammed a gigantic pumpkin right on my head. It took 4 days before doctors could get me out of it.
Maybe that chair is a bit too high for you.
And to think it was the smallest one I could lay my hands on.
I suppose you needed a ladder to sit on it.
At least I can easily get to the console this way.
What about that heart rate monitor?
I'm a heart patient. I need it to check my pulse.
Maybe if you didn't drink so much coffee.
That's easy for you to say. Night shifts here are deadly boring.
Small, chubby, and a heart patient. Is there anything else?
Your sarcasm leaves me completely indifferent. You have the reigning national champion of the insult contest in front of you, in case you didn't know.
Nobody and nothing can beat my sharp tongue.
Show me then.
From the look of things, the pumpkin shape on your skull is still visible.
Ugh! The pain it causes me to talk of that fruit makes me miserable.
Do your parents have full-sized kids too?
Attacking my height. You can't think of something new?
In my excitement of Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, I couldn't stay in my seat.
Ugh! My asthma! I can't breathe!
Perhaps your heart has been pierced by Cupid's arrow.
Ugh! Just my luck he'd hit a target that narrow.
Your Netflix subscription has been hacked.
Ugh! I'd rather prefer to be whacked.
Your name is the worst that I ever knew.
I wouldn't say that to Wreck-It Ralph if I were you.
You'll end up with bad posture if you stay so long in this place.
Anything's better than the sight of your ugly face.
You will never be half the guard your cousin is, that's for sure.
Ugh, that's more than I can endure.
You have serious problems with halitosis.
You'd better be worried about your osteoporosis.
Quick! Emergency in the Egyptian room!
The mummies must have woken up to mock your ugly costume.
Behind you! An aortic dissection!
Ugh! Right in the chest with surgical perfection.
You're too tense. It isn't good for your health to do all that plotting.
Said the guy whose carcass is rotting.
I've never seen someone with a tummy so large.
Still better than having just bones and cartilage.
All that coffee will kill you. Be careful with it.
It gives me the energy to insult till you quit. I thought you were better than this. What a disappointment.
Your cousin wanted to know if it was all okay here.
Yeah, right. I have so many unruly visitors to keep at bay. What is he afraid of? The Anubis statues will come back to life?
I'll let you work in peace.
What do you want?
I'll let you work in peace. It's green paint, okay? I forgot to specify that I wouldn't have picked it in any case. Even if I'm now dead, I still don't feel it would be wise to stain my criminal record. How are the preparations going?
Damned if we aren't on the brink of becoming filthy rich!
I'll leave you to your...
As you know.
Better not.